Students, we have talked about lofting before, but I want to show you how lofting is used in conjunction with creating the Cowcatcher for the train project. We start out by drawing the trapezoidal, or actually more of a pentagonal shape on the bottom of the Cowcatcher, which looks something like this. And if you actually go through all your dimensions here in the Part 9 drawing, you'll be able to accurately draw the bottom down here using a construction line in the center to actually locate the tip of your Cowcatcher. Now, in order to do the top part of the Cowcatcher, we have to create a work plane that's located above that so that we have something to draw on. And then we're going to use the loft tool to actually extrude from the bottom shape, the larger shape at the bottom, to the smaller shape at the top. So to get that work plane, we're actually going to click on plane, and we're going to click on this plane here, and we actually want to offset from that plane 0.75 because that's the distance between the bottom and the top of the Cowcatcher. So I'm going to make this 0.75, and I'm going to finish. So that gives me a work plane now, or like a sheet of paper to draw on top of this one. So I'm going to click on sketch, and I'm going to click on the edge of the work plane, and I'm going to hit N for normal. And now you notice the top plane lines up directly over the lower sketch that you made, so we can be consistent with making sure everything stays in the middle here. So what we want to do, if you look at the top of the Cowcatcher, it's actually a little smaller, whereas the dimension here was 180, up here it's 120. And notice, since it's 6.60 smaller, I'm going to come over from the left edge here. I'm going to come over 0.30. I'm going to split that difference between, for the 60, 30, 30. So I know I will start my line here when I draw the top view. And this one has to then come over 1.20. And then you'll notice the dimensions going up on each side are still 0.25, even on the top view here. So if we come back over here to this side and restart the line to, we know we need to go up 0.25 on this side. Now again, it's the same technique we used before, in that we need to know where the center point is. So I use a construction line here in the middle to help me locate 0.75 out from the very center of the part. So I'm going to click on the line tool. I'm going to start on the center point, which it'll find. I'm going to come up 0.75. And that gets me the point that I'll have to attach to when I draw my top view here. So I want to make sure that this center line here is actually a construction line. Again, because I'm not using it in the actual building of the part. And so now I can come back to my line tool, and I can connect from the very top back to where I left off over here. And we do not want that to be a construction line either. So let's right click on that one, and let me clear that one. Let me actually delete this one here. Okay, get that out of the way. I'm going to delete this one because we don't need it to be a construction line. So let's try this again. So I'm going to come up from this point here up to this one, and I'm going to come from here to here. And so now I've actually formed, you see it closed in a shape here for the upper part of the Cowcatcher. And so now I can escape out of this, and then I can come over here, and I can actually delete this first little line I drew because it was just a line to get me positioned correctly. And so now I can finish that sketch. So now if we go back to the ISO view, you'll notice I have a large sketch on the bottom and a small sketch on top. So now we can simply do our loft command like we did before. You can click on the bottom shape, and you can click on the top shape, and it actually lofts between the two. Click the green check mark. You can turn off the plane so you don't have to look at it. And this gives you the basic structure of the Cowcatcher. And I think you guys can probably figure out how to do the depressions and how to do the pins on the back and how to do the shelling at the end.